Hi everyone, I'm Chibuzo Machuku. This past Saturday in upstate New York, a 20-year-old woman named Kaylin Gillis was shot after turning into the wrong driveway with her friends in a remote area. This happened just a few days after, in Missouri, Ralph Yarl was shot and seriously wounded after going to the wrong home to pick up his twin brothers. These incidents are similar. People compare this incident with the Missouri incident. However, unfortunately, Gillis died from the gunshot. These friends were trying to locate a friend's home in the city, Hebron. When they got to the wrong home, the owner, Kevin Monahan, a construction boss, shot at them after they found out that they got to the wrong place and were trying to turn to get out of the place. Gillis, unfortunately, was struck by that bullet. After attempts to call 911 for paramedics due to the fact that this happened in a remote area, paramedics showed up, but unfortunately, they couldn't save Gillis. Before I continue, I'll roll the clips for you to hear the sheriff of Washington County, Jeffrey Murphy, give details about the incident and also the arrest of Monahan.
The first call came in at 9:53 p.m. on Saturday night. It was a 911 call reporting that a 20-year-old female had been shot. Patrols arrived at the scene. It was on Cemetery Road in the town of Hebron, and initially began CPR efforts along with Salem Fire and EMS. There was a few members that were there right away as well. We then began getting calls about shots being fired on Patterson Hill Road, which is in the town of Salem, approximately 5 miles away from where the Cemetery Road scene was. So patrols began to respond to that residence, and upon their arrival, the residence was dark. However, at some point, the lights all came on, and we figured out that that was the scene where the shots were fired from. The resident inside was not cooperative. He would not come out and talk to patrols, so we had a bit of a situation there with the subject being in his house. We identified the victim as 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis from Schuylerville, New York, at the Cemetery Road location. In talking to the other subjects that were there at Cemetery Road in the same vehicle with Kaylin, they indicated that they had been looking for a friend's house in the Patterson Hill Road area and had gone to the scene where we had the report of shots fired. They had gone to the scene in error. They were looking for a friend's house, as I said, and unfortunately, they drove up this driveway. It's a very rural area. It's dirt roads. There's not a lot of cellular service or any type of internet. So they were basically looking for their friend's house and got mistaken and drove up this driveway. While they were leaving the residence, once they determined that they were at the wrong house, a subject came out on his porch for whatever reason and fired 2 shots, one of which struck the vehicle that Kaylin was in. They left that area in the vehicle, went to the Cemetery Road location, again with poor cell phone reception. They were able to make contact with our 911 center, and that's how the call came in. Subsequently, we found out that the owner of the residence was Kevin Monahan, age 65, of Patterson Hill Road. As I stated earlier, he was uncooperative with patrols on the scene, and we have his picture up over here. And after approximately more than an hour of talking back and forth through a 911 and trying to talk to him in person on the scene, he was taken into custody. He's currently being held in the Warren County Jail, and he'll have a court appearance before County Court Judge McKeegan in the near future. Again, this is a very sad case of some young adults that were looking for a friend's house and ended up at this man's house who decided to come out with a firearm and discharge it.
It's good that Monahan was arrested. However, it took like a standoff with him to arrest him, as he was uncooperative. I have advice for you all. If you're going somewhere and you don't know the place, try to use an app. I know this incident happened in a remote area. Try using an app. I strongly recommend Waze app. I believe it works very well. If not, try Google Maps. There are other apps you could try, GPS apps. If you cannot use any app because you're in a remote area, then you want to try to make sure you get to the right place, because there are a lot of people that are crazy. You can't trust people these days. Look at the mailbox if it's by the entrance to the property. If there's no mailbox with a number on it, then you want to park your car outside and secretly check the number of the house. As a matter of fact, don't drive into the driveway. Don't assume that you got to the right place. Check and make sure that you've reached the right place. And if it is, then you pull in. I also recommend that you try calling the person that you're going to visit and let the person know that you're coming. When you arrive, what you believe is the place, you call the person and make sure that you're at the right place. That's something else you could do. There are a lot of people that are crazy. Now, I will show you the photos of the victim and the accused. There's a reason I'm showing you this. In response to the shooting of Yarl, some white people responded in support of this boy being a black boy. I remember hearing at least one of them say that she goes to the wrong place frequently and never gets shot. She was assuming that Yarl was shot for being black. I don't know if race had anything to do with it, even though the man that shot him is a white person, and that happened in an area with mostly white people. There's something I'd like to say about this example over here, this incident. If you are a white person, it doesn't mean that you can't get shot just for going to the wrong place. That assumption is dangerous. It's deceptive. You know, this country has a lot of gun issues. There are some people that can't tolerate anyone trespassing their properties. Kevin Monahan is such an animal. And it was unfortunate that Gillis lost her life just for going to the wrong place. She didn't mean to, she and her friends did not mean to do it. That was a mistake. That was an accident. This man is an animal. He's a scumbag. Maybe the person that raised him forgot to tell him how to respond to situations. When he noticed a car on his property, he could have walked out of the building and asked those friends, "How may I help you?" He could have told them they were at the wrong place. Instead, he shot at the vehicle. He came out of his house and shot at the vehicle. What a scumbag. If he thought his property was trespassed, which he did, he could have called the police. He was in no position to shoot at the vehicle that Gillis and her friends were in. Trespassing wouldn't justify shooting. Trespassing did not put his life in danger. Now he's been charged with second-degree murder. I'm glad he was arrested. I hope you all learn from this. Remember, when you are going to a place and you're lost or whatever, you want to make sure that you get to the right place before getting into the driveway. Leave some comments. I appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.